The New York Liberty, they remained undefeated on Sunday with a beatdown of the Connecticut Sun. 100-52 at the Barclays Center. New York Post women's sports reporter Madeline Kenny, she was in the building to witness the dominant win. She joins me now. Maddie, what's going on?
Not much. How are you?
I'm good. I'm trying to do as good as the Liberty. Liberty are doing really good.
Yeah.
7-0 in the season. So, Maddie, the Liberty, they won their 7th game of this season. 48-point blowout. What stood out to you the most? Because it's hard to find out things that stand out in a blowout, but what stood out to you the most about the dominance that they displayed on both ends of the floor?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me was that it was just a full team effort. Like, obviously, the starters were the ones who set the tone, and kind of we knew from the first quarter how this game was likely going to play out, and it played out that way. They built up that big lead, and they just never took their foot off the gas. But the fact that it was a full team effort, the way that the offense was, the ball was moving, they were passing a lot. They weren't just settling for their shots, doing some hockey assists and stuff like that. I think the other thing too was the fact that the bench came in and had really impactful minutes. And so overall, everyone got involved in the action today, so to speak. They hit 19 threes for the second time this season. The only team that's ever reached 19 threes in a game in the league history. So this offense has a lot of weapons, a lot of firepower, and we saw that today.
Yeah, we saw it. I was just a little bit disappointed they didn't break their own record with the three-pointers. But maybe
I really thought.
See, you thought it was going to go down too. Yeah, maybe it happens in another game. We will see. Now, you talked about the offense, but the defense, they've been locked in too. Liberty held the Sun to just 8 points, Maddie, in the third quarter. They outscored them 50-24 in the second half. How have you seen Sandy Brondello's defensive schemes evolve so far this year with all the talent she has around her?
Yeah, and that third quarter was really impressive because they've been really struggling with slow starts the second half. And I think, like Jonquel Jones said, that was the best third quarter in Liberty recent history, to her recollection. But no, defensively, they're definitely very locked in. This is a defense that is can be scrappy at times. They switch a lot. The biggest thing, they're a decent rebounding team. There's some discipline things that, they maybe are working on still or fine tuning. But overall, this is a really talented defensive team. And their starting lineup too, is so loaded, not just we talk a lot about their offense, but defensively. What Natasha Cloud kind of brings as she's like the air traffic controller of the defense in a lot of ways, is how I usually put it. And you have JJ in the paint, she's the anchor, but JJ can also play at the perimeter at times too when it's necessary. And so this defense it's really tough, to score on.
Yeah, really tough to score. 8 points in the third quarter. Third quarter, not the first quarter, third quarter. Really impressive there by the Liberty. So last thing for me, Maddie, this win, it ties the best start in franchise history at 7-0. Liberty did that back in 1997. How does this team compare to past Liberty squads in terms of their balance, their depth, and overall chemistry? Because when you start having these historic starts, you have to start now comparing it to teams of the past. So how does this Liberty squad compare to ones you've seen before?
I think this Liberty team is better than the one that won the championship last year. And I know it's really early to say that, but I just think with some of the additions that they made and the way that they've been playing just early on, the chemistry, like you mentioned, it's all there and it's all humming. The ball is moving. Defensively, they're locked in. It's really hard to nitpick what this team needs to work on or improve on. And so I think the biggest thing is, they just can't get complacent with their play. They need to stay locked in. They need to play 4 quarters because, again, third quarters have been kind of a recurring issue, even though that wasn't the case today. And so, I think this team, if they continue to play the way that they've been playing, they're going to be really hard to beat.
Yeah, they've looked really dominant early on. 7-0 start for the Liberty. They got a couple days off. They don't play until Thursday, where they're back down in D.C. to battle the Mystics. That is Madeline Kenny. Check out her work here with the New York Post Sports, a great women's sports reporter for us. Maddie, we'll talk to you soon. See if the Liberty can make it 8-0 on Thursday.
Thanks for having me.